Hi, hello, this is Rishi Kapoor and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
I'm an actor myself and I have a keen interest in movies and performances, and I can honestly say I do not see anyone on the same level as Rishi Kapoor. There is a certain naturalness about him, a certain spontaneity, and he was like this way before anyone else. Well, that's what Ranbir Kapoor has written in the foreword of Rishi Kapoor's much talked about autobiography, Khullam, Khulla, and it's a huge honor and privilege to have sir with us. Sir, pleasure having you on BollywoodHungama. First of all, how do you react to the statement of Ranbir that he's an actor himself and he finds that there's no one else who's in the same league as Rishi Kapoor?
Well, he's a man of few words and I'm surprised that he's made this kind of a statement when I read it the first time.
Right.
And ठीक है, बच्चा अपने बाप की तारीफ की, so what? And well, I thank you, Ranbir, for saying that. Those lovely words, lovely thoughts about me. Thank you.
Right. So were you anticipating that it's, I think, only a matter of, 2 weeks that the book has been launched and it has already gone into a reprint and it's a bestseller and it's being almost anyone and everyone within the industry and even apart from that they're talking about it. Had you anticipated something like this?
See, this is the first time I'm an author as such.
Right.
Normally I'm an actor, I'm a film man. But
Right.
The best part of this thing is it's a very easy read. It's a very breezy read.
Correct.
It's talking in first person. You feel it's as if I'm in a conversation with you.
Correct.
So it's not really very heavy. And it was very important for me to write an autobiography for 2-3 reasons. Namely, first, that no Kapoor has ever written an autobiography.
Right.
In those days, it was not the fashion to have an autobiography written or whatever. There's no works of my grandfather, my father, my uncles. There are books on them by others, but it's not a first-person autobiography, so to speak.
Correct.
And why it was important for me to endorse this journey of mine was because there is a wrong perception in the world that star sons have it very easy.
Correct.
Very easy in life, star sons or daughters whatsoever. I, for one, right now, I think I'm one of the oldest star son right now in the industry. Being a son of an actor and whatever, I want to dispel that notion for people. It's not easy actually to make a career out of your such. Yes, it might be easy for you to get a break for your first outing, to be introduced in the world, but you're on your own. Today, if I've invested 44 years of my life in cinema, it's entirely and purely by myself.
Absolutely.
It's not that I'm lasting because I'm Raj Kapoor's son now, or it's not because Ranbir is lasting, he's Rishi Kapoor's son.
Absolutely.
It's we are on our own merits, our own demerits, or on our own steam. There is this wrong notion. I had to dispel that notion, like I said earlier. But maybe I may have not starved, maybe I must have not slept on the on the platform or roadside. I didn't struggle there.
Right.
But I had to struggle thereon after all my life for the coming 25 years. Ask me how.
Absolutely.
I was introduced as a musical romantic hero way back in 1973.
Yeah.
And the trends had changed by then. The trend of cinema had changed. And the angry young man and the action, the whole films were made only action oriented. So there was no room to actually see films or actors like me to be in romantic films or in musical films. I was always trying to battle the onslaught of the action era, so to speak. There were actors like Mr. Bachchan, Dharmender, Shatrughan, Vinod Khanna, all of them action period. So to survive them, it was quite a task, and it took me 25 years to swim against the tide.
Absolutely.
So for me, it was all the more struggle throughout my career. So how do you say that star sons have it easy? It's no way.
I don't
sometimes I see so many star sons here. Sanjay Dutt, Sunny Deol. There's so many of them. They've all worked themselves. They've worked for whatever their standing is in the industry.
Right.
It's not because we are of our fathers. Surely, yes, we have some kind of baggage on ourselves that people expect a lot from you. Well, that's quite all right. But we have all worked for it. This is what I wanted to say. Thereon, it is important for me to write the book I wanted to roadmap my career because I personally feel it's a very inspirational story for any youngster, not only in films, aspiring to do something, that you could come back in life again. I have done it throughout my career.
Sure.
Like I said, I fought the tide. So these things are very necessary for me to speak.
Definitely. In fact, you won a national award for your first film, that is Mera Naam Joker. And you've also spoken about the depression that you faced when a few of your movies were not working.
Correct.
Immediately post your marriage. So what I found personally most fascinating was the entire, the portion that you've written about how Rakesh ji wanted you to do a small role in
Yes.
Koi Mil Gaya.
Koi Mil Gaya.
And you refused that, and he said that what
Let me tell you that.
Yeah. Because after that, your journey, I think, what I personally feel is the most phenomenal journey that you had.
Let me tell you. I just ceased being a leading actor and had directed a film, and there were a lot of offers for me to come. That time, Veeru Devgan, Ajay Devgan's father, who was very close to me, I had worked a lot with him. He offered me a role in Raju Chacha, and then my dear friend Rahul Ravel, he was making a film called Kuch Khatti Kuch Meethi.
Correct, with Kajol.
He wanted me to play Kajol's father, and I had just finished my tenure as an actor, and I wanted some space, a couple of years, and then see what I want to do in life. Whether I wanted to direct or work. That's why after Our Lord said I never made a film, because everybody just plunged onto me to be an actor.
Correct.
And that's what I'm very passionate about, that is acting. So it so happened that I started getting work, and I was trying to think what I'm going to do. In very much that time, Guddu, who's a very dear old friend of mine, I must say, and these are, like it was Providence, actually, the providential words that he called me one day and he said, listen, I want to come and see you. I have a role for you, just 2 days work to play Dugu's father in Koi Mil Gaya. And you were saying so, and I said, no, Guddu, I don't think it's a good thing for me, good career move for me to do a film just for 2 days work. So he started laughing. Yeah. He said, no one has a career at this age. Yeah. I felt very hurt, and I felt somewhere very challenged. And I felt that I will one day prove myself that yes, if you're talented, if you're hardworking and sincere, you can turn around the table.
Absolutely.
And I didn't tell him then, but I did tell him that I don't want to do. And that is when I took this challenge. It was like a kind of a springboard for me to make a career for myself, to work hard, to try and get a goal. So this is my second innings. And to be honest, Faridun, I have never had acting roles in my career, barring few here and there which I did. All the time the same romantic films, same sweaters, same locations, Switzerland or Kashmir earlier, and Ooty and Switzerland and Jersey and wooing the girl. For me, I was kind of getting trapped in my own peripheral career. So I wanted to do something else. That is when my second innings started. Absolutely. As a character actor. And that's when now what I'm enjoying doing most in my life is playing different characters.
Right.
And this is the biggest high for me.
Definitely, and you've written about that very passionately as well. And the fact is that you had some phenomenal roles in the last few years, be it Agnipath. In fact, I think I wanted to speak to you after Kapoor and Sons. You were outstanding in that. The entire dialogue, I think that kept on coming back to me about when it is asked that Dadi ke baare mein, and you said that my mummy ke, and the way you react to it,
that's
it's so funny. I kept on thinking about the dialogue all day today.
It's an impromptu dialogue. It's not part of the script.
It seems like
it was
that.
Like when you were
it
shooting,
like.
he was told to say that, very good, and suddenly you said that, and everybody burst out in script. Shakun didn't have it in the script, but it happened, and he kept it. It was not in the script.
It's outstanding, and the entire, I think Kapoor and Sons was simply outstanding. D-Day has been there. You've spoken about Aurangzeb in the book, and I personally feel Aurangzeb was phenomenal.
Yeah, but no one saw the film.
Yeah, maybe it was there.
Sometimes your work
had a lot of layers, especially your character had a lot of layers actually.
Yes, I did. I enjoyed doing that film. And I don't know why no one offers me baddie roles. I think I'm not good at doing baddie roles.
No, but I think Agnipath, you were phenomenal.
Yeah, but I've never heard any baddie role after that. Right. I would, of course, I would like to choose a good baddie role and then do it.
Right.
But nothing comes my way. Faridun, let's be honest. It's this certain age, there are far and few between the roles that you get.
Right.
They're not written much for our age, at least my age. And then if they come your way, it depends how good is it. Like after Kapoor and Sons, I think I created a Frankenstein for myself. And I say a monster for myself because now I don't do films because it's not as good or strong as the role what I did in Kapoor and Sons. Right. And I don't want to play any like a meager father or just any role. So I wouldn't say the word choosy, but it's very difficult to actually make a choice, when you have. So I guess let's see what happens in the future.
Right. What I personally found very interesting as well, sir, that you've directed Aab Lord Chale, but many would want, I think, you to maybe turn a director once again because I think you're a phenomenal storyteller. I'm saying in terms of the way you've told your story, it is so interesting. It's like people, anyone can have like a popcorn.
You're the third person who's saying this after reading my book. The description, the way I narrate, the way I talk. But my passion is acting, to be honest.
Right.
And directing a film is too much of hard work, a thankless job. You got to be the first person on the set, last person to leave. I don't mind being a hard-working man. I've always worked hard.
Right.
But I'd rather be acting because that's my real passion. That's acting.
No, I think hard work is, there's absolutely no doubt about that. We were speaking to Ranbir, I think, a couple of years back. I think you were, when D-Day was releasing, and I think you had 12 films that year.
No, I could have never done so much
But you had many films
I
that
could
year.
never have done so much work.
But
3 or 4 maximum.
But you had several films.
Perhaps. I don't know, they must have been delayed for
Yeah,
release
yeah.
or something.
They were
But I don't do more than 2-3 films. Right now, if you ask me, I'm an actor without a job, and it's out of choice that I don't want to work. I'm planning on doing some films right now. I've read and I like those scripts. But I don't have anything good enough.
Right. So it's entirely your prerogative whether you want to direct or not. But what I personally felt, and it's a very interestingly told story. The way you've told the entire thing, and there are many nuggets. There are many because you've been brutally honest, and that makes any autobiography. It makes for interesting reading because if it is honest, because if
it should be that way. Otherwise,
and
you are an autobiography.
You are critical about yourself as well. It's not that you are just praising yourself all the time. You've been extremely critical about yourself.
Times about wrong decisions. I wrongly planned things. I've been the butt of the joke. A lot of things about myself. And when you're writing an autobiography, see, listen, I don't have any regrets. I don't mean any offense to anybody. I've just said that this has been my journey and these are the events. These are the milestones which I remember. It's not like I have, talked of the whole story in a story form. Those, anecdotes that I've said, those are actually what actually interests people.
Okay, and so you're speaking about your initial part, and you're saying that you played something regular in terms of the jerseys and the Switzerland, but I'm sure that even that must not have been easy because now when I was looking at a few of the songs, be it Amar Akbar Anthony and be it Laila Majnu, for example, and Khullam. There's so many songs.
Have I done any song of your father? Have I sung any song?
No, you haven't.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in that context, and now those songs they are benchmarks in their own right. The way Neetu ji has said as well in the article that she has written that the way I think apparently Mr. Bachchan told her that the way he just sings a song and the way he just owns it, it seems that he is actually playing the instrument, and the way he dances something that no one else can do it. So even that context, and the interesting part was that many of those songs, they were not choreographed. You were doing it your own thing.
No. I think barring one or two, one was the first song of my life in the studio, RK Studios, that I sang Main Shaar To Nahi.
Right.
And that was like, pushing a small kid into the deep swimming pool and you could haath pair maro and you have to survive.
Right.
That's what happened in this. Do you want me to tell you that anecdote?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
I was shooting for Bobby. My father was the director, Mr. Raj Kapoor. I was waiting at the sets. I was very excited that I was going to sing my first song. So I went on the sets, and Rahul Ravel, my friend, he was one of the assistants to my father. So he was my friend. I asked him, who's the choreographer today who's doing the song? So he said, I have not heard of anybody coming in, I don't know. So I said he might be coming, my father may have called, and the shot was ready. And when my father came on the sets, and he told me, lighting hogi thi. So I went in quietly, asked him, where is the photographer? The choreographer. Oh, yeah. He asked me, why do you need a choreographer? Seedha wahan khade raho aur gana gaao. I said, मैं कैसे गाना गा सकता हूँ? मैंने गाना तो कभी गाया नहीं है. I've never sung a song in my life. I need to be taught. I need to be do it. कुछ नहीं, सीधा खड़े रहो and feel. How would you woo a girl? How would you sing this song? I said, I cannot do it. Why are you making me do this? He said, मैं इसलिए कर रहा हूँ. Remember this. And this is with all junior artists and all technicians there. He said, if I call a choreographer, he will show you how to do the song. He has actually done the same thing with all your senior stars, be it Rajesh Khanna, Amitabh Bachchan, Vinod Khanna, Shashi Kapoor, Dharmender, anybody, ABCD. They've all copied him. He will teach you that. You will copy him. So people in the audience say, ये तो Dharmender की copy कर रहा है, अरे ये तो Rajesh Khanna की copy कर रहा है, ये तो Shashi Kapoor है. Because he's not. He says, find your own identity.
क्या बात है?
अपनी छाप तुम अपनी बनाओ. Said that, I know it's going to be difficult for you, but go stand there and do it. And that is what I did. And I started gaining confidence. That first time that I was thrown into the deep sea, I started, मैंने हाथ पैर मारे, and I realized and I understood and experienced how it is to sing a song. And that was the greatest lesson taught to me. And how much it paid me off. That I was so confident how I used to, picturize songs. I remember a time I went to recording. and it was one of my films recording, I can't remember which film, and Rafi Saab was singing. So I was looking at him, and Rafi Saab, caught my eye, and he called for me. So I went there very respectfully, I went and touched his feet. So he kissed me on my forehead, and he said something in Punjabi, but I'll tell you, explain to you that, he said, I love you, and तुम बहुत अच्छे लगते हो गाना गाते हुए. He said, असल में, he said, यूसुफ के बाद, no, he said, लाले के बाद, शम्मी, Johnny, he said, तुम मुझे बहुत जचते हो मेरी आवाज़ में.
Yeah,
he wanted to say, Dilip Kumar, Shammi uncle, Johnny Walker, and you. I mean, this is such a compliment to me, coming from the great Mohammed Rafi. I was so touched. So, this is all because I was first time told to find my own identity and do a song on your own. So, you understand where I'm coming from?
Absolutely.
So, that is how I can't say I'm an expert or anything, but that's where I got confidence to sing a song. But I could emote within words and with music to a person. I was never a good dancer. I had good expressions. But I was a make-do dancer. But my expressions are very good. That's why, people thought that I was acting.
Many
it was very difficult for me
right.
to do sargam. Like sargam में मुझे नाचना था, गाना था और डबली बजाना था. तीनों को सहित एक ताल वाले हैं नहीं. तीनों को साथ साथ करना बहुत मुश्किल है.
बिल्कुल.
But that was thanks to, choreographer P.L. Raj and Sheila ji, who actually taught me all that. I can go on forever and tell you all about my songs and everything. It will not end. You go into a couple of hours of recording.
No, we would love to do that, sir, because the fascinating part is that when we're just talking to you right now, and when we just look at your work, you've worked with some legends who are no more, but their name is written in gold, like Madan Mohan Saab in Laila Majnu, Sahil Ludhianvi Saab in Laila Majnu, and even we're talking about
Tony films, even Kabhi Kabhi.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure. Laila Majnu, of course.
Yeah, Laila Majnu was your solo film, so I'm saying, and the music was phenomenal. And now talking about Rafi Saab, you've also mentioned that at that point of time, Rafi Saab was a second preference, and it was more like a Kishore Kumar era at that point of time. But the songs like Parda from Amar Akbar Anthony, it became like an anthem of sorts.
See, I'll tell you
many
how
ways.
Let me explain to you. Initially, I started off with Sharinder Singh.
Correct.
Bobby का music बहुत super hit था. So obviously all eyes were on R.D. Burman. That next film of Rishi Kapoor was Zahira Insan. So he said that तुम्हारा music तो बहुत कमाल का होना चाहिए. R.D. Burman के साथ ऋषि कपूर पहले बार हैं.
Correct.
So I was not so friendly with Pancham. I just met him. Obviously I was starting my career. This is 1973 की बात है.
Right.
So certain songs I was insisting that I would like Sharinder Singh to sing because Bobby से मेरी छवि बन गई थी that he was my voice.
Absolutely.
He recorded couple of songs, I think सांप से बढ़कर मेरा जहर है, I think, and then मेरे दिल से नैन गजल थी. Then he was wanting to give a hit song, but he went and said that I cannot give it until Kishore Kumar takes the song. He said Sharinder will not be able to sing the song.
Correct.
It's not his pitch. So they came and asked me, my director and my producer. So I said, please take this your decision yourself. I have recommended, but if you feel that somebody else needs to sing it, please do that. And that is how O Hansini came about.
Correct.
That is how Kishore Kumar came on the scene with me. And I'll tell you how Rafi Saab came to sing for me. Laila Majnu was being planned. Now this is Mohammed Rafi fan club, Bangalore, who has actually told me this. Rafi Saab was and Madan Mohan were finishing the film, I think, Heer Ranjha.
Correct.
And that time H.S. Ravel bought the film to Mr. Madan Mohan. Madan Mohan had two conditions. That one, Sahil Ludhianvi will write the film. Obviously, nobody else could write that time a film like Laila Majnu. And the second, Rafi will sing all songs for Rishi Kapoor.
Correct.
So H.S. Ravel said कि Rishi Kapoor 21 साल 22 साल का है, रफी साहब 45 साल के हैं, उसकी आवाज़ नहीं मैच होगी. He said मेरे गाने, मेरी जो गज़लें हैं, ये कोई और किसी और सिंगर की बात ही नहीं थी. Will not be able to do that.
Absolutely.
So after quite a bit of argument, then they agreed, and that is how Rafi Saab, they agreed on taking Rafi Saab for my voice.
Right.
At that point of time, this is 1973-74.
Right.
They agreed, and that is how actually Rafi Saab became my voice. I think the first song he took of mine was Tere Dar Pe Aaya Hoon from Laila Majnu.
Correct.
And thereafter, I think Manmohan ji, Nasir Hussain, then everybody started taking Rafi Saab for certain songs of mine. And I'm so happy in my life that I had Kishore Da, I've had Rafi Saab, I've had Mukesh Uncle, I've had Mahendra Kapoor ji. Unfortunately, I read somewhere, Manna Dey had written in his way.
You've written about
the
that.
only actor he did not play back was me. I don't know why.
You've written about
you
that.
know, I left out. He's lip synced he has sung for every actor till the time he was living.
You've written about that is one
Yes.
regret that you have. So you're speaking about Oh Hansini. Now that song has done exceedingly well when it has been remixed, and
Its original form is the best. Why
it is
remix?
definitely. Why I'm saying that-
Mixes, I don't
Yeah.
think they have any value. I think the original matters always.
Absolutely.
The best.
What I was coming for that Om Shanti Om became like a movie, for example. And there have been so many examples that Kurz. I was very surprised that Kurz at the box office, maybe it was not that big a success at that
Yes,
point
I
of
will
time.
want to talk to you
But
about that.
over a period of time, it is a phenomenal film.
Yeah, it's become a cult film.
Absolutely.
And now because there was a film which was again action oriented, a lot of sex, a lot of foreign shooting locales, again great music, a lot of action, and multi-star cast film that came just 1 week after Kurz release. So it actually clamped it down.
Correct.
I was going to tell you this.
Qurbani.
I was just thinking, this is not in my book, but I was just thinking, why did this happen? Why was I always the right person in the wrong time? The times are always wrong.
You mentioned about
I was trying to think, why did a film like Bade Dilwara, which was an immediate remake of Kati Patang, is the gender change by Gulshan Nanda, the book. Kati Patang was a super hit.
Ji.
Damn good music, and Bade Dilwara, superb music, but didn't do well. I didn't understand why. A film like Ye Wada Raha, extraordinary music, very good story. If we can take Face Off, in today's time we have Botox and breast implants and everything. Why cannot these remakes be made today? I feel these films were victims of the circumstances of the times the films were made. They're all action films being made, and they could not gel with those times. Audience did not give much importance. I thought much of these films which would definitely run in today's times, it didn't work that time because they were not bad films. They had good stories, they had good music, they had good performances. It's just that audiences didn't want to see musical and romantic films.
Right.
ऐसे मेरे ही नहीं, काका जी के हैं, जितेंद्र जी के हैं, बहुत से ऐसे एक्टरों की ऐसी पिक्चरें थी जो सोशल फिल्में थी, रोमांटिक फिल्म्स ही थी या म्यूजिकल फिल्म्स थी, वो नहीं चलती थी.
Right.
तो मैं भी आई वाज विक्टिम ऑफ सर्कमस्टेंसेस. हालात वो सब एक्शन फिल्म्स के थे. They only wanted to see action or South-oriented films.
Correct.
We were actually in the lurch. If these films are made in today's era with today's actors, these same films are going to be bound to be super hit with that kind of music.
Definitely. Sir, you spoke about the fact that it's important that to have that own पहचान and अपनी खुद की छाप होना बहुत important है. You know what I personally felt after reading the book as well, and the way we have seen you, and at that point of time, you've written constantly that you wanted to have your own identity. You did not get impressed with whoever was at top at that point of time. You wanted to have your own stamp, and you just fought for it like anything. So how important is self-belief, because you've also battled with depression for when 5 films were almost waiting to be finished and you had certain
No, I think Kurz actually impacted me. I was hoping that Kurz would be accepted in a very large way.
Right.
And then I thought probably that same year I got married. I thought probably my marriage had kind of dented my career.
Yeah.
So it was like I did not know what had happened, what hit me. Actually, Kurz was something supposed to be, and genuinely is a good film. Like you said today, it's a cult film today. But Qurbani actually climbed on into Kurz and then, went to. Also, I went into a kind of a depression. And which obviously took time to come out of it. But my father, my wife, my family were all very supportive. They all obviously were very concerned. How can I say, my producers, my directors, my co-stars, all of them very patiently waited for me.
Right.
I had 4 or 5 huge films on floor waiting to completed, the sets being completed. 2 set यहाँ लगे थे आरके में, दीदारे यार का और प्रेम रोग का. मनमोहन जी का एक नसीब का सेट था, नासिर हुसैन साहब का ज़माने को दिखाना है at फिल्मिस्तान. And I think one more, I think Ye Wada Raha or something was. Anyway, so to speak, that I did go through that process. In life you go through all these kind of, ऐसी ज़िंदगी आपको बितानी पड़ती है, ऊपर नीचे सब ज़िंदगी चलती रहती है. So that's how I accepted it.
Definitely. So my question was that how important has been this entire self-belief and the fact that you've always believed in yourself instead of, like, say, this example of Koi Mil Gaya, that maybe what sort of roles can you possibly get. You also had that entire phase when you were wearing all those jerseys which became like famous in its own way, and you had...
I didn't want to be known as a jersey man. The people in overseas used to call me jersey man. I want to be known as an actor here.
we looked at the fact that which is
What do
the
you think? I
new
was
sort of
I was modeling before jerseys were.
yeah, but what sort of new sweaters is Rishi Kapoor going to be wearing? That's what many people.
And 99% they were all my personal sweaters.
Must have been.
I used to only buy them to work in films and wear them in films.
Must have been. So I was just watching the song of Deewana right now, and so that self-belief, how important and crucial has it been? Because right now, say in the last 10 years, for example, the sort of work that you're doing, people would love to see you for the next 15 years, phenomenal work coming from you, sir.
देखो भाई, जब तक अच्छा काम मिलेगा काम करूंगा,
जी।
अपनी तरफ से बड़ी मेहनत करूंगा, अपनी तरफ से आपको एहसास दिलाऊंगा कि ये रोल्स अच्छे हैं अपनी एक्टिंग के जरिए. अगर काम ही नहीं मिलेगा तो क्या करूंगा मैं? आई कांट डू एनीथिंग अबाउट दैट. आई डोंट वांट टू डू एनी रबिश वर्क. एक तो क्या है कि एक यू मस्ट सी वेयर आई हैव स्टार्टेड. एक ज़माना था जब मल्टीपल स्टार कास्ट पिक्चरें बनती थी. उनसे पहले जो मेरे फादर थे तब नहीं बनती थी. आज देखो, आज नहीं बनती हैं. आज कोई खान्स थोड़ी एक दूसरे के साथ काम करता है. व्हेन वाज द लास्ट मल्टीपल हीरो यू हैव सीन? आपने देखा 2 हीरो की शायद मैंने देखी हो, 3 हीरो तो अब सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता है. पिछले 15 साल से तो कभी बनी नहीं होगी. उस वक्त बनती थी बिकॉज एक तो ऑडियंस बड़ा फॉरगिविंग ऑडियंस है, बड़े इनोसेंट ऑडियंस है. कुछ भी दे दो, एंटरटेन कर लो, 3 घंटा बस हमें हमारा टाइम पास करा दो. तो हर कोई एक्टर उस वक्त, मैं 70s की बात कर रहा हूँ, हर एक्टर के पास तकरीबन 3 या 4 पिक्चर तो लॉस्ट एंड फाउंड के ऊपर होती थी. बाकी जो पिक्चरें होती थी वो अमीर लड़का गरीब लड़की, गरीब लड़का अमीर लड़की की प्रॉब्लम, ये 2 फॉर्मूला चलते थे. तो हम सब ऐसी ही पिक्चरें करते थे और उसमें मल्टीपल स्टार कास्ट होती थी. अब मल्टीपल स्टार कास्ट में सबसे बड़ी छाप बच्चन साहब की होती थी. ऑब्वियसली बच्चन साहब वाज द मेन स्टार ऑफ आवर ईरा. एक्टर तो बढ़िया है, नो डाउट अबाउट दैट. सो बच्चन साहब को 100 मीटर की रोज में 50 मीटर का तो उनका हैंड होता था, बिकॉज राइटर उनके लिखते थे, डायरेक्टर उनका होता था. एंग्री यंग मैन तो बच्चन साहब ही थे. हम लोग तो, हमारी तो पहुंच ही नहीं थी उतनी, हमको 0 से भागना पड़ता था 100 मीटर. तो अमिताभ जी तो अच्छे एक्टर थे ही. तो इट वाज वेरी डिफिकल्ट एंड वी अग्रीड एंड वी विलिंगली वर्कड इन दोस फिल्म्स. ये थोड़ी किसी ने जबरदस्ती हमको काम करवाया था. वी गॉट पेड फॉर इट. वी ऑल वर्कड इन दोस मल्टीपल स्टार कास्ट. बट उन दिनों ऐसी ही पिक्चरें बनती थी कि 5 रुपए के टिकट में लोगों को 2-2 हीरो, 3-3 हीरो चाहिए थे. दौर होता ना, एक दौर ऐसा था. फिर दौर बदल गया. आज का आपको मिलते हैं, जैसे मैंने अभी कहा, you will never find it that way.
बिल्कुल. And at that point of time there were no other entertainment sources. There was no
entertainment sources छोड़ो, एक दौर था. People wanted to see मार पिटाई, रिवेंज ड्रामा. ये जितनी पिक्चरें, मेरे पास कितनी पिक्चरें थी जो ऐसी तो चली हैं. अमर अकबर एंथनी, कातिलों के कातिल, नसीब, झूठा कहेगा, सब जिनकी सब एक्चुअली तो ऑल द फिल्म्स आर बेस्ड ऑन रिवेंज. कि बिगिनिंग में भाई बिछड़ गए और क्लाइमेक्स में गाना गाते हुए भाई मिल जाते विलन को मारते हुए. यही कहानी होती थी, यही फॉर्मेट होता था.
बिल्कुल, एब्सोल्युटली. सर, one very fascinating and inspiring thing that I just earned out of this book was, I'll just share my thoughts. When you say that, when you're talking about your father and when you speak about the fact that you feel extremely exact words शायद मैं नहीं आपसे कह पाऊँ, लेकिन you feel extremely like a rich person, not because of the money but because of the fact that you've worked with some of the finest artists in the industry, and the sort of experience that you've gained from meeting them, learning from them, and the entire experience, something that can be it is absolutely priceless. And that is something
I think I have worked with anybody who's anybody. I worked with all of them. Everybody who's anybody. Talk of the directors, talk of the actors, talk of the actresses, all of them. My career has been thankfully because of them. I mean, I've got 3 films with Raj Kapoor. I've got films, with actors. I've worked with Dilip Kumar, Devanand, Raj Kapoor. Name you whoever, Bachchan Saab, Dharmender, Vinod Khanna, say anybody, whoever not worked with. Which directors have I not worked with?
Right.
I worked with the creme de la creme, worked with all the best guys.
So what I was getting was, I found that particular portion very fascinating when you speak about your father. That in terms of, as a creative person, that he had to shoot the song, and he needed clouds for that. And he thought that maybe he'd get it in Lonavala, and he just went to Lonavala and he just kept on following the clouds because and he came back after like a week.
अरे नहीं भाई, इवेंट इसी दिन में कोई भेंटों की बात नहीं होती थी. राज कपूर का गाना था मेरा जूता है पानी, मेरा जूता है, आई थिंक 420 की शूटिंग. तो सोचा है बाहर पनवेल से चलते हैं, अपनी ट्रक है, वैन है अपना, दो गाड़ी, एक गाड़ी और दो ट्रक, चलते चलो, जहाँ अच्छी लोकेशन दिखी, जहाँ अच्छे क्लाउड्स और देखें वहाँ लेंगे, फ्रेम में बना के शूटिंग करेंगे, बिकॉज गाना एक जर्नी था. इफ यू नो मेरा जूता जापानीज मैन वर्किंग,
Absolutely.
यहाँ तक गए, सतारा तक गए, कोल्हापुर तक गए, आगे चलते गए, भूल गए कि कहीं जाना है, घर जाना है, बीवी वेट करे, कुछ नहीं, चलते गए, चलते चलते ऊटी पहुंच गए.
जी.
ऊटी पहुंच गए और उन्हें 25 दिन दिए ये गाना पिक्चराइज करने को,
25 days.
सिर्फ चेसिंग क्लाउड्स. सो एक जुनून था, एक पैशन होता था, लोग ऐसे पिक्चरें बनाया करते थे. हालांकि उस गाने में एक पोर्शन ही वेंट एंड शॉट इन जयपुर. सी दोज डेज ट्रैवलिंग आउट ऑफ दिस, वी आर टॉकिंग व्हाट 1953-54. Those days going out of Bombay to shoot was very expensive here.
Right.
So जयपुर गए एक करने के लिए. So ये सिर्फ जुनून की बात होती है. It's a passion. You have to really be passionate about your work. That is how it happens.
So I found that very fascinating because I think in today's day and age, do you find that things become way too technical at times, and that passion is maybe is something that is.
It's the speed of life that has killed this, the passion and everything. We are cut to cut, expenses. फिल्म मेकिंग आज बहुत महंगी हो गई है.
जी.
एवरीथिंग इज चेंज. आप सॉरी, आई शुड नॉट बी सेइंग फिल्म. आज तो फिल्म ही नहीं रही, डिजिटल रह गया. कैमरा भी, फिल्म तो है नहीं, डिजिटल में बनती है, डिजिटल पे एडिट होती है, तो फिल्म है ही नहीं.
बिल्कुल.
तो जो पूरा एक सोबत, एक जो सराउंडिंग, एक एटमोसफेयर था, वो सब बदल गया.
राइट.
ये तो मेरे होते हुए इतना बदला है. आप तो मेरी फादर की टाइम की बात कर रहे हैं.
राइट.
जैसे बॉबी में ऐसे ही था. हमको पापा उसी वक्त बताते थे कि जैसे हम बॉबी में शूटिंग करते थे तो मेरी डेट की कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, ना डिम्पल की डेट की प्रॉब्लम. तो जब क्लाइमैक्स करना था तो चलो बैंगलोर से चलते हैं, होगनिकल चल सकते हैं, शिव समुद्रम की तरफ चलते हैं, इधर उधर. देन वी केम हियर टू पुणे से चलते हैं, चलो लेट अस गो टुवर्ड्स महाबलेश्वर, देन टर्न द कार, लेट्स गो टुवर्ड्स पुणे. डेट की प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, अपना घर का हीरो हीरोइन है. गाड़ी में बैठो, ट्रक निकलो, ये निकलो, जहाँ अच्छी लगी जगह वहाँ शूटिंग करो. वो आज के जमाने में कहाँ होता है यार. आज तो स्टार को तो उसको वैन चाहिए, उसको इधर चाहिए, उधर चाहिए. पहले तो वो सोचता है कि हेलीकॉप्टर से कैसे जाओ लोकेशन पे.
करेक्ट.
तो कैसे बनाएंगे ऐसी पिक्चरें आप.
बिल्कुल. आप
क्या जो फिल्म मेकर है उसके तो हाथ बंधे हुए हैं ना. रिस्ट्रिक्शंस कितने हैं. आज महंगी कितनी हो गई है शूटिंग करनी. एवरीथिंग इज बिकम वेरी डिफरेंट बॉल गेम नाउ.
Definitely. So, if we look at the entire filmography, the fact is that all your films on one side, maybe that's what maybe I think I personally feel. But I think maybe Bobby will be one film that will be like on the other side because
Absolutely.
It is a film that is still referred to as one of the biggest hits of all times.
See, hits की बात नहीं है. It's a refreshing
when you refer to
today because of the music.
Films, when you refer to romantic films, musicals, it is something that one film that always comes into the picture, and that motorcycle became like known as Bobby motorcycle.
Yes.
And almost everything. So how do you look back at Bobby now, sir?
Very pleasant memories. Will always stay in me and very close to me. Bobby's now 44 years back.
Right.
Remember that.
Absolutely.
God willing, if I'm living for another 6 years, it's going to be 50 years to that film.
Right.
So that's for me, it's a masterpiece. For me, it's a masterpiece. And well, what do I say of Bobby? Bobby was a film made because Raj Kapoor had to be bailed out. He had the studio mortgaged. He had whatever money he earned all his life was always invested in his films.
Correct.
It was all kept rolling. It was never invested in any kind of other industrial zone or in anything. It was only his films. He was so passionate about his films. So Bobby was made at a time when Raj Kapoor needed a successful film. And the easiest way out after Meera Naam Joker's debacle was take a youth star and female and male star. So there's a 100% hit chances because Raj Kapoor is making it.
Sure.
So that is when Rajesh Khanna, and at that time I'm told Sharmila Tagore ji and Mumtaz were very keen to work with Raj Kapoor. And they would, do anything to work with Raj Kapoor. But Raj Kapoor didn't believe actually in taking stars in his film in the sense that his vision was different, his thinking was different. In those days, he used to share comics with me. I used to read Archie comics. He was very inspired on making a really romantic teenage love story with really teenage young actors.
Absolutely.
So that is how it came about to make Bobby. If you see, Bobby is not a name of the boy, it's a name of the girl.
Name of the girl.
It was a heroine-oriented bill. It was a well-balanced story, but it tilted towards the girl in the film.
Right.
So it was not like I was taken in the film because it was my launch. I was taken by default, I always say this.
Correct.
The film was Dimples. When we were scouting for the girl, when we found Dimple, तब लगा कि अभी हमको हीरो की जरूरत है, बोले जो घर में हीरो उसको ले लेते इसमें क्या है, चलो ले लेते, मुझसे कहा कि थोड़ा बहुत वेट लूज करो एंड लेने. सो बोथ ऑफ अस लॉस्ट वेट एंड दैट इज हाउ आई केम इनटू द पिक्चर. मेरी एंट्री ही पिक्चर में बहुत आम ऐसी एंट्री होती जैसे वैसी थी. इट वाज नॉट ऑन बड़ी मोटर बाइक और घोड़े के दो पाँव पे खड़े होकर ऐसे कुछ करते हुए. इट वाज नॉर्मल फिल्म. Basically, it was a film being made for Raj Kapoor. Raj Kapoor had a concept of a film, and that is how he was doing it. And then what happened? Well, Dimple got married, picture got released, picture was a huge success, and full credit was given to Rishi Kapoor. पूरा क्रेडिट मेरे को मिल गया. मैं हो गया सुपरस्टार एट द एज ऑफ 21. अब 21 साल का लड़का. I mean, you can imagine with so much of success and so much money, मेरा क्या हाल होगा. It happens to anybody. आज के बच्चे तो चलो और शान है. उन तो हम बात कर बना was in 1974, 73, 74. Up 21 boy was very kind of a grounded young innocent boy.
बिल्कुल.
आज तो बच्चे 12 साल की उम्र के शाने हो जाते हैं.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
So I'm saying that is what Bobby actually taught me. I've been through rudiments. I've been fundamentally, I've been a lot of rough patches after that.
Yeah,
and that is how I grew up. I grew up from the ashes.
You've spoken about
yes,
that.
Yes, I have actually. I would have been destroyed after Bobby if I did not work diligently and try to come up with the situation. I fought for it, and that is how it happened.
Sir, you also referred to as Bob by Neetu ji, and she has written a wonderful, I think, write-up as well at the end of the book. How crucial has this relationship for you as well? Because she has written some wonderful things about you.
She's written some nasty things also about me. Well, all said and done. Well, we made for each other. We met very early in our life.
Right.
When I started off my career, Dimple got married, so I had no heroines to work with.
Right.
भाई 21 साल का लड़का और कोई heroines नहीं, because they say Hema, Zinat, Parveen Babi, Rakhi, all of them looked older to me. They may be a couple of years elder to me or my age, but they all looked elder to me. So obviously I could not be paired opposite them. So it was, they say, mother is the necessity of invention. So that is why it was necessary to actually cast new girls with me, because there was no star on available to work with me. Either Neetu, Maushami, or a new girl. So that's how I worked a lot with Neetu. Sometimes 2 shifts a day, and then we got closer, and obviously we fell in love, and then we wanted to get married, and we got married, and we decided amongst ourselves that one is going to be a homemaker, and one is going to be the breadwinner. So I decided to be the breadwinner. She was the homemaker. She gave me 2 lovely kids. Thankfully, God has been kind. And they're well settled, and God is kind that we've had a we've had a normal life. We have a share of fights, we have a share of arguments, which every normal pair couples have. But it's been quite smooth for us.
Definitely. She has also written about something quirky, and when she says that all the kids and her, they have to write a SMS of Jai Mata Di before they take off on any flight, and once reaching over there, and once Ranveer's flight apparently got a bit, he sat in the airplane and it got a bit delayed, and you have this
no, let's be exaggerated. It so happened that my phone wasn't working, and I didn't know whether he had left town. Ranveer never messages, never does anything of the sort.
Right.
He has his own world. So I didn't know whether he had arrived or he had left as yet not. So I got a little worried. So that is what actually happened.
Right. Okay. And are you happy with the way Ranveer's entire choices? You also spoken about the choices that he has made in terms of Barfi and a lot of other.
Yeah. In the sense, see, he's a gutsy actor.
Right.
He's an actor who, when he was starting his career during Savariya, he had told his mother कि मैं जो काम करूँगा, मैं ये तिरछी टोपी जो आपने टोपी पहनी है इसको ऐसे करते हुए बास्केटबॉल, स्केटबोर्ड, वो जो शाहरुख खान साहब ने की हुई थी, वो सब मैं नहीं करना चाहता. मैं कोई 40 डांसर पीछे वाली पिक्चर नहीं करना चाहता. मैं वो पिक्चरें करना चाहता हूँ जो मेरे एज ग्रुप के आज लोग अभी हैं, उनकी जो प्रॉब्लम्स है, उन पे जो आधारित होंगी कहानियाँ, उनको मैं करना चाहता हूँ. That is why his choice of films and roles were off the arc. Like Wake Up Sid हुआ, या रॉकेट सिंह हुई, या बर्फी हुई, या तमाशा हुई. उसमें से भाई कोई पिक्चरें चलेंगी, कोई पिक्चर नहीं भी चलेंगी. हर एक्टर के साथ ये जिंदगी में होता है, किसी का 100% तो रिकॉर्ड होता नहीं है.
बिल्कुल.
So you go through that path, but what I credit him is that for making a choice, brave choice to doing these films. मुझे तो मालूम है कि मेरे दोस्त मेरे ब्रदर खुद मुझसे कहते थे क्या हो गया इसको, इज कमिटिंग सुसाइड। एक पिक्चर करता है और उस पिक्चर में ही वाज डूइंग पिक्चर लाइक रॉकेट सिंह, ही वाज डूइंग अ पिक्चर लाइक बर्फी, जिसमें ना गूंगा है ना बोलता है ना सुन सकता है, क्या पिक्चर है ये, हीरो आर्टी हीरो बन जाएगा। तो मुझे भी फिक्र होती है लेकिन नहीं बोलता था मैं उससे, बिकॉज रणबीर makes his creative choices himself. I do not interfere anything in that.
Sure.
But I was a little worried, why is he doing films? But then he proved us all wrong. Na? When Barfi became a big super hit, he proved us wrong.
Absolutely. Now,
So he didn't want to.
Jagga Jasoos,
Yeah, again, Jagga Jasoos. But Jagga Jasoos is a very enjoyable film. It's a film for children and for adults. I've seen portions of it and I think it's marvelous. Marvelous.
The promo has got a.
No, I've seen other bits and pieces. It's not I'm saying this because Ranbir is in the film. I on the contrary run Ranbir down. I always say I'm very critical about the films. But that film promises to be fun. I have not seen its totality. I can't say how the film is. It has a lot of music. The music is yet to be recorded. It's on the process, last legs. But that should be good. But I'm just saying what I liked about Ranbir was choosing some very brave films to work in.
Definitely.
किसी इजी क्या होता है स्टारडम के लिए कि 2-3 पिक्चरें करो, एक थोड़ा ट्रैकी करो और एक शोर शॉट जो होती है ना 40 डांसर मार धाड़ वाली पिक्चर, कीप्स यू इन सेफ जोन. He was a daring actor that he did not want to do that.
Definitely. So we know that you have your hard press of time. Couple of more questions that I have in mind. So one thing that I think almost everyone, personally I've spoken to Ranbir many times, and what I find very fascinating is that he's extremely grounded and he's very, I think, very well mannered. And the fact is that he has always come up on his own. He has never had this entire that I'm Rishi Kapoor's son, or we've never seen you just maybe giving him a platform or anything of that sort. And because of that, somewhere he has made a mark of his own entirely on his own. And I think that's
very true. That's I get into arguments with my wife with this.
जी बिल्कुल.
She says you never support him, you never talk. I said मैं करूँगा तो लोग बोलेंगे देखो अपने बेटे की तारीफ कर रहा है.
But in a way it has gone to his advantage as well, because you've given an example of one of your friends.
Swimming pool मेरे साथ क्या हुआ था?
Yeah.
मैं शायर तो नहीं. Same thing is अपने आप करो ना, अपने आप हाथ पैर मारेगा, he'll find.
Right.
देखो जी, everybody is going to fall down in his career.
Right.
You have to get up, understand, and then walk again to your destination.
Right.
ये तजुर्बे से आदमी सीखता है, कोई अपनी माँ के पेट से सीख के नहीं आता.
बिल्कुल.
आदमी अपने आप जो करियर बनाता है अपने एक्सपीरियंस से बनाता है वो. So should he.
Definitely. So basically what I was trying to say was that you've given an example of one of your close friends and how you did a movie for his daughter, and maybe things did not go as per plans, and maybe you felt that you are being taken for granted. So somehow we've never heard any such report that Rishi Kapoor has at any point of time interfered in any of the movies of Ranbir Kapoor, which is people have.
Why him? I've interfered in my own films. Yeah.
A lot of respect for that.
I have never interfered in my own films.
जी.
Why would I interfere in his films?
Right.
I mean, he charts his own career. हर आदमी अपनी किस्मत खुद लिखा के आता है.
बिल्कुल.
अपनी इसकी डेस्टिनी खुद की होती है.
Right.
मैंने किसी का नसीब ना चुराना है, कोई मेरा नसीब नहीं चुरा सकता.
बिल्कुल.
बस मेरा हक है, मेरा फर्ज बनता है कि मैं अपना कर्म करूं, और कर्म करके मैं अपने फल के लिए वेट नहीं करता. I'll see. I'll work, and यही मिसाल मैंने रणबीर को दी हुई है.
बिल्कुल.
तुम काम करते रहो बस यार, बस अपना काम करते रहो, किसी की सुनो नहीं, किसी का बनो नहीं. मैंने अपने करियर में यही किया था, मेरे बाप ने यही किया था, मेरे दादा ने यही किया था. वही मैं आपको मिसाल उनकी दे सकता हूँ. अपना काम करो बस, और बाकी छोड़ो.
Definitely. So one last question is that what I find interesting as well, that the fact is in this book you have given so many episodes as someone can say, in terms of, and which are very interesting. They're very like entertaining as well. Many a times the way you say it, people can find it like juicy and gossipy in a way as well. Do you feel that a movie can be made, or like a documentary can be made on your
I don't think so. But I must tell you some reactions to this book. I was there for a launch in Calcutta, in Delhi. There came a lady, wanted to autograph it. I very graciously signed my autograph. She says, "इसमें juicy भी है ना तुम्हारे gift." I said, देखो, why do people think an autobiography is always going to be juicy with romances? There cannot be a normal book or normal life of anybody. Right. I have never sensationalized myself. Right. I have never had any kind of controversies about me being involved with any heroine of mine or a girlfriend of mine or whatsoever. So why this fixation we have, this, all that, कि इसमें ये भी होने वाला है, अरे वो क्यों नहीं था,
because
all that.
You've said so many things matter of factly, and the fact is that you're saying what you believe it. Like when you talk about Daud's encounter
Yes.
with Daud or other such
Some people
encounters,
take it
you say it very.
Yeah, in 1988, he was not a national crime.
Yeah.
He was just like any other person or any other politician also. Some politician get people bumped off here.
Exactly.
He was like, it could have been anybody. It could have been me also. Could have been you.
Right, absolutely.
He was just a criminal on the run, and on the run he met me. If he met me, nothing wrong in interaction with
Definitely.
him. I have not done no crime.
And the fact that you are so frank, you've given the title as well as Khullam Khulla. Do you at times feel that कहीं ना कहीं honesty जो है at times जो है people don't take it in the right spirit, like even the way you interact
See, I have said that I
Twitter
don't
as
have
well.
any regrets, and
On
I do
Twitter as
not
well.
mean offense to anybody.
Ji.
I have not run down anybody. I have just said that this happened, and today we don't have any regrets, or we do not offend anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. कोई ये ना समझ बैठे कि मैंने एक खुलासा किया एक बात का. मैंने अपने तजुर्बे में कहा कि ये मेरे साथ ऐसे दौर में ऐसी बातें हुई, और हमने उस दौर में वो बातें अपने आप को समझकर उसे घोल कर पी कर हम आगे बढ़े. We did not stagnate there. We didn't take it to heart.
Right.
I must tell you one thing. What is very important is that you probably have heard, people enacting a play. There is an experiment we are doing right now. It's in the rehearsing stage. There's an experiment we are doing that I am going to be enacting my autobiography.
So that's what I felt, because that's what when you read this.
But
when you read this, you get that
yeah.
feeling.
So I am going to be talking to an audience personally, enacting and telling them what it is and what it was all about.
That's a great idea, sir.
So right now it's going to be the first of its kind. I don't know if it's been never done before.
It's a great idea.
I have a mediator with me.
It's a great idea.
And there is no script. It's just my mind at that point of time. If I remember the episode, how good I remember that episode, and how good I enact it. तो हम ये इसको एक बना रहे हैं. It's kind of a solo, kind of a 1.5 hour talks with the audience.
That's a great
Initially, it's going to be, right now, I would like to be a kind of a corporate show. It's not a ticketed show or anything, but just I want an audience of 300, 400, 500 people to talk to, and tell them on one-to-one basis, exactly what.
That's a great idea, sir. That's what I meant. That
So I think we are planning sometime mid-March to do a first kind of a show, and then if it works,
so it will work 100%.
Then we'll work.
We
will do it all over the world.
It's a because there's so many things that you say so matter of factly without the way you say that I just bought a award and maybe Mr. Bachchan felt because of that and something like that. It is so matter of fact.
So it's not matter of fact. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Problem क्या है कि मैं झूठ नहीं कह रहा, सच कह रहा हूँ
जी.
और मुझे इसके बारे में कोई मुझे गिला शिकायत नहीं है, कोई मुझे शर्म नहीं है. ये मेरी गलतियां थी, ये मेरी नादानी का रिजल्ट था. How stupid, rich 20-year-old kid has so much of money, doesn't know what to do. किसी ने कहा अवार्ड खरीदो तो अवार्ड भी खरीद लिया. आज मुझे उस बात का दुख होता है कि मैंने ऐसा क्यों किया. मैंने कई लोगों के दिल दुखाए होंगे, तो मुझे उस बात का एहसास है आज है. Today I feel that I have confessed and I am free of all my sins. मैं अगर ये नहीं बोलता अवार्ड के बारे में तो आपको कभी मानना मालूम नहीं होना होता.
बिल्कुल, एब्सोल्युटली.
बट मेरे दिल पे बोझ नहीं था, मेरे दिल पे गलती मेरे से हुई थी जो मैंने दिल से खोल के मैंने सब कह दिया. ये नहीं कि मैंने कुछ छुपाया है कहीं. विच आई थॉट इज वेरी फेयर, वेरी नाइस. एंड जितने मेरे फैंस हैं, मेरे चाहने वाले लोग हैं, उनको आई ओ दिस टू देम. मैं एक अपनी तरफ से एक सफाई पेश करना चाहता हूँ कि मैं किस किस्म का आदमी हूँ. आई हैव नेवर manipulated things. I've never planned things. I've never gone out of my way by doing things. वो सब ऊपर वाला करता है. हम कौन है करने वाले. तो वो सब जो होना है अपना मैं कर्तव्य करता हूँ बस, और कुछ नहीं.
Definitely. Even in terms of this entire avatar of yours on Twitter, the way people have taken it, many people have become fans of yours just because of that honesty, the way you display on Twitter, for example.
ऐसा तो होना चाहिए ना. You don't supposed to be a liar. I'm not a manipulator.
Right. And there are many people who are big fans of yours. Even recently, that 2-in-1 जो आपने, it's very fun.
Some people like it, some don't like it. So what? Right. You don't like it. It's just fun thing. Twitter is a fun thing. Take it in the right spirit.
Absolutely.
It should be taken in the right spirit. मुझे बहुत शौक है ट्विटर में कोई ऐसी चीज़ अगर मेरे माइंड में आए तो बोल देने की. It's okay. अभी परसों मैं कहीं शहर में था,
होशंगाबाद.
मैंने मुझे नहीं मालूम था, लेकिन मैंने आज पेपर में पढ़ा कि सुना वहाँ मेरी एफिजी चलाई गई और मेरे नारे लगाए गए और काले झंडे. हमको नहीं मालूम. जब 40,000 35-40,000 ऑडियंस था वहाँ. अपने दोस्त के एक he was opening a spa with on the river नर्मदा, तो he wanted me to inaugurate it. तो उसके लिए एक छोटा सा शो था जिसमें म्यूजिक नहीं होता है. तो I'd gone there. तो छोटे शहर में कोई एक्टर ऐसा छोटा सा एक्टर भी चले जाए तो बहुत बड़ी बात होती है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, आप
तो
तो
कुछ
खैर-
इतना बड़ा मजमा हो गया।
जी।
तो सुनने में आया था कि वहाँ कुछ ऐसा कुछ कांड हुआ था। मुझे इसके बारे में नहीं, लेकिन आज पेपर में पढ़ा मैंने।
Yeah, we read that. So thank you very much. It's a huge privilege to talk to you, and as you rightly said that we can talk maybe say 2-3 hours. When I'm really happy that you are actually working on this entire concept of the theater idea. I'm absolutely sure that it's going to be like a blockbuster.
देखो मैं अभी रिहर्सल कर रहे हैं. It's in the pipeline.
No, it should be like.
It's basically I have never done theater.
Right.
I have never done probably drama in school.
जी.
तो एक एक्सपेरिमेंट है कि आदमी अपने बारे में बताता है लोगों को कि मेरे साथ ऐसा ऐसा हुआ था और ये ऐसा हुआ था और ऐसा क्यों हुआ था और इसका फलस्वरूप क्या हुआ था. तो इसमें क्या है, बहुत एंटरटेनिंग भी है, हंसी भी आती है, आपको कहीं कहीं आपके आंख में आंसू आ जाएंगे. जैसे आई नो वन इंसिडेंट दैट हैपेंड विद माय इन फ्रंट ऑफ माय आईज विद माय फादर एंड मिस्टर दिलीप कुमार.
Yeah, you've written about
it. These are things which I have gone
when,
through. I have gone through, yes, and I've seen that happening. But it is best told in first person.
Definitely.
So we're trying that out.
So that is one of the scenes you can actually visualize it, and that's what I meant, that if you can have like maybe like a movie or biopic or like I think theater will be like a wonderful way to discover that.
I don't think my
you are being modest, sir. You are being modest.
No, but I don't know how would you do it. These are just events. These are just those. I'm not being modest. Why should I be a modest? अब इतना खुलासा कर दिया तो इसमें modesty क्या है यार? ये कि there is, I don't know. Then I do not know what biopic is. मेरे यहाँ events हैं, हुआ हाथ ऐसे हुए थे. बाकी क्या है? I'm a rich man's son. Rightfully, I have been born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I got the right break, big hit. Then what? जब picture flop होने लगी तो फिर क्या हुआ? वो rich man चले गया, वो silver spoon चले गया. उसके बाद हम खुद खड़े हुए अपने पैरों पे. Then we fought for it and we struggled, because mind you, it was not romantic times. If any actor came out of doldrums and again came to romantic times, I struggled against the tide which I've been talking about.
Definitely. So even Bobby, for example, when you were making Bobby, Mr. Kapoor was.
Yes, he was up against the wall.
It's not as if that
it was not. Yeah, it was not that hunky-dory times, and we did the film. We did the film a lot of stress,
and
money stress, everything is all stress.
And the amount of the way it was mounted and the way it is set in terms of losses, that must have been like extremely tough times. So it's not that those were like really silver spoon times.
Yeah, all this thing is in my book. Even that, did you know that Raj Kapoor didn't even have a house for his wife and 5 children till Bobby? लोग तो एक पिक्चर में काम करते हैं, they buy immediately in one film only.
Right.
Raj Kapoor didn't have the first 1973 started in 47, 27 years he didn't have a house. He never made a house for himself.
Right.
It was then after Bobby when all his friends, all listened advice and fought with them, my uncles and everybody said कि अब भाभी जी के लिए अब घर लो. तो 1973 में तो राज कपूर ने घर लिया है. घर भी नहीं था राज कपूर का. स्टूडियो बनाया 22 साल की उम्र में, 24 साल की उम्र में, लेकिन घर बनाया 50 साल की उम्र में. ऐसे लोग कहाँ होते हैं?
पैशन,
ऐसा पैशन कहाँ देखा अपने फिल्मों में? पीपल वर सो इन्वॉल्व, एक जुनून था उनको पिक्चर बनाने का. यार जो देख रही है, जब आपने भी तो कवर कर दिया अपने बॉलीवुड हंगामा.
Sorry sir,
these are all the films of Raj Kapoor and his works. And जिस देश में गंगा बहती है, श्री 420. You see that this is my office. We are actually in my office room, and that's where we are talking with Fardeen.
So we can keep on talking. Even just देवनार का जो आपने अपने घर का आपने जो जिक्र किया है, वो भी अपने आप में बहुत interesting है. That how you guys all the siblings stay together in one room, and so there are so many things.
There are so many things, and I have not even said so many things.
We can keep talking.
I never used to have a bathroom. In the room which I sleep it was not ensuite. It didn't have a bathroom. Okay. So I used to share a bathroom with my father. So one day when I was very afraid of my father, always in awe of him.
You've written.
So one day when I came home late in the night and I was pretty high, I went to sleep and I woke up midnight to just go to the toilet. I went to the toilet and instead of going right, I went left.
And you slept with
father's room. I took his cumber and went to sleep.
You slept with.
So in the morning I woke up, I said, "Oh my God, where am I sleeping? And how did I get here?"
Yes, you've written about
that. So ऐसी चीजें हैं यार. I've shared these moments.
Definitely. Yes. So thank you very much, and we're genuinely looking forward to this play of yours and many more movies.
Play, it's a one-person act. I don't know how we're going to call it. We're going to call it again Khullam Khulla.
Okay.
It's going to be called Khullam because it's from the book. Book means it's from my life.
Sure.
Book हो या मेरी जिंदगी हो, ये क्षण जो हैं, ये जो moments हैं from my life, They are being. We are trying that. Let's see how
I
either
think
we are
it should
successful or
happen,
not. We don't know.
It should happen, sir. It will definitely be.
We're hoping. We're hoping to do that.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Fajin.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you, guys.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.